Welcome back, Wolfpack Rollers here, and we have Glitch bringing us a battle from the International Challenge Junior Division. Alright, so we have Glitch showing us what we can do with... Wow, this actually looks like a pretty high-level battle, because, I mean, we have the Fable, we have a Greninja, we have a lot of really crazy-looking stuff. This could be an insane battle. Alright, so what is Glitch going to bring us for this International Challenge against Adri? And that's going to be Greninja Sylveon, so... Might be pretty simple, just Greninja's going to map block and then Sylveon's just going to go in Hyper Voice. But Rotom and Aegislash, it's actually something pretty solid to have up against it. Rotom, going to protect. I don't know. Okay, getting that double protect on the first turn. Never mind, that does make a bit more sense, just in case that map block is coming. So Greninja was going for that map block. I was wondering, I'm like, if you could feel that Greninja doing something like, or if you could feel the Greninja maybe going for a Dark Pulse on the Aegislash, that would have been something, but we do protect that Shadow Ball. And now, Rotom doesn't want to stand against this. That's a lot of Scald and Hurdy Pain and things. But Aegislash is going to be set up against that Sylveon pretty well. And Milotic is going to come in for that tankiness. So he did decide to Scald onto what would have been Rotom. Milotic actually taking about a fifth of its health from there. Ah, critical hit. I was about to say, that seems like a lot of damage, even for Milotic. Hyper Voice going to get tanked up just a bit. And Aegislash now ready to go for some craziness. So, stance change, and is it going to be special? Flash Cannon. So yes, special onto that Sylveon. No Iron Head, just Flash Cannon. Not enough to knock it out, even after the Life Orb. That has to be hit point, special attack, just bulk destruction. And playing the game right there. Sylveon going to protect. I think Aegislash also might be going for that King Shield. Yeah, Aegislash going to King Shield it back up, get into that safety position, and because of, Greninja not having too many options against the Milotic, probably going to be aiming for the Aegislash Gunk Shot. Ooh, never mind. Gunk Shot was actually headed in, and that's going for Rotom. That would have been an excellent prediction, but not enough, and Rotom does get poisoned in the end, so either the opponent just really wanted that Milotic gone, or out-predicted it. So after all that poison damage, that is going to proc the Citrus Berry from the Rotom. So we do know it is supposed to be a very tanky Rotom. And Sylveon going to be withdrawn. And Kangaskhan enters the battle. So this is where things get a bit interesting. Rotom has that Will-O-Wisp. Greninja can Scald it up though. But that means we are going to see Aegislash with a bit of free reign. Rotom does survive the Scald. And Thunderbolt from the Rotom. That's going to hit Kangaskhan. Ooh, are we going to see, just trying to focus on that Kangaskhan? Are we going to see the Flash Cannon with that extra damage from the Thunderbolt be enough to just blow up Kangaskhan right there? Oh, no, Flash Cannon onto the Pokemon using the Water type attack. Not very effective. I don't know, I think that might have, that could have gone a little better. That, trying to either worry about the Kangaskhan, well, actually it was a switch out, but Flash Cannoning the Sylveon would have been a pretty solid idea, but now I can see the Thunderbolt. I don't know. That is going to be going into the Landorus. So Landorus's Intimidate going to be pretty good. And that is going to be a switch back into Milotic. So trying to fish out that Scald, fish out that Ice Beam, while also reducing Kangaskhan's power. Not bad. And there we go. Mega Kangaskhan. So bit of damage across from both Pokemon. I mean, if Milotic comes in, gets a heavy Scald on the Kangaskhan, gets that burn, could really change things around. And Fake Out. Fake Out only has one target. So that means Aegislash playing the game. Rocky Helmet actually going to be serious onto that Kangaskhan, proccing twice, getting that damage in from that Fake Out, and Greninja Ice Beaming. So it looks like Greninja wanted the Milotic gone, and not the King Shield, the Aegislash felt it. The opponent might be like, he's just going to King Shield, free damage onto Milotic, so Milotic goes down in that trade. But this is a time for Shadow Ball to pick up the Greninja, and that's also a very good play right there. Greninja's going to go down. Landorus comes in, and that means that Kangaskhan is actually going to be at -2. So it becomes less of a threat, and it's going to be Clefable versus the Aegislash, so we do have to worry about that Flash Cannon. Kangaskhan might not have too much direct power against the Aegislash. Sucker Punch is something to worry about. Maybe something else, so we're just going to see the Scout right here. Aegislash going to that Shield form, going to go for that King Shield, still looking very healthy. Going to just kind of use this turn, and then next turn it can eat that Sucker Punch, so there it is. Sucker Punch, that is going to hit Landorus instead because... maybe just anticipation right there. But no damage being done. Landorus going to get that Rock Slide. So, I don't think it's going to be enough to take out the Kangaskhan. No, Kangaskhan being very tanky. But the Clefable with the Icy Wind, that could be serious. So Landorus now slowed down. Kangaskhan should be able to pick it up really easily. So now it looks like we're getting into an Aegislash kind of situation. So Landorus going to go down to that Sucker Punch, and we just kind of have to see, you know, is it going to be the Flash Cannon onto the Kangaskhan, or will the Clefable with Minimize pose to be a very good problem? That, you know, I don't think Clefable brings too much threat to Aegislash, so you might as well take out Kangaskhan while you can. Even though the Flash Cannon does seem pretty delicious onto the Clefable, gotta make the play onto the more powerful Pokemon that is more threatening. And it looks like it's just going to be some kind of stall situation. Oh wait, Sylveon. Sylveon's still alive, right. So Sylveon is going to be a Pokemon worth picking up. The Protect could be something here, so yeah. Get back into that King Shield, make sure Sylveon isn't going for a Protect. Make sure you can just kind of outplay right here. Now we're getting into some shenanigans, so that's going to be Clefable with the Follow Me. Let's say Clefable could have gotten a free Protect right there, or a Minimize. So Shadow Ball, that's Sylveon posing a lot of threat. Clefable going to use Follow Me. This Flash Cannon lands, it might work out. So Shadow Ball, Aegislash, it's behind that King Shield. Shadow Ball going to be, yeah, that's a weakness policy from the Aegislash right there. So Shadow Ball, that could be pretty big. And oh, the Life Orb actually going to take out Sylveon. Sylveon was low, but apparently it was that low. So Clefable, it's sitting on that Minimize. The Follow Me, not really doing too much for it at this point. It is going to avoid with that Flash Cannon. So now it's just a war right now. Is he going to predict that stance change? Go for a Minimize. Try to whittle it down with that Icy Wind. Because, I mean, it's just Minimize, Icy Wind, probably Moonlight, and then the Follow Me. So there's the Moonlight. Clefable is going to get one shot, though. That weakness policy, that could spell some pretty big damage right there. And it looks like we just have to wait for that Minimize, or wait to hit through the Minimize, or hope Icy Wind, you know, could maybe be enough after a couple turns. So Aegislash, it's got like a, I think the opponent has a 54% chance of dodging the attack, and now Minimize going to drop that down to like 36%, plus 6 on that Minimize. It got set up. Oh, the Flash Cannon does land. And it's not enough to take out the Clefable. The +2 Aegislash with that stab Flash Cannon, super effective. That's a physical tank Clefable. And it, or not physical tank, that has to be a little bit special, huh? So yeah, the Moonlight though, is it going to be enough? It's not going to be enough. Clefable does go down to the critical hit, but it still probably didn't matter too much. And that was a rough battle right there. So the opening, yeah, it turned into some things, and that was the International Challenge, really coming in strong at the end. Little bit of, I wouldn't say mistakes, but a little bit of like slip-ups on both sides, and it just came down to Aegislash, you know, picking up the rest of the Pokemon. Everyone was low. Aegislash saw some good tanky opportunities, made that risky play right there, sacrificing the Milotic, and staying in Sword form. Good Aegislash mastery right there. The mechanics are on point, and we have one more Fan Fridays coming up after this.